What is going on, everybody? It's JayPlayzFTW here. I'm back in another video, and today I'm ranking all the bosses in Dead Cells. Now, this is literally just my opinion. This isn't going to be a ranking from easiest to hardest, although I can make a video like that in the future. Difficulty will play a factor. This is more just how creative and fun the boss fights are. Since we look at the base bosses, we'll just go off 0 BC. And finally, we will not be including DLC bosses or the 5 BC boss, because I'm still working on beating 5 BC. Anyways, let's get right into it. Concierge. All of the boss fights in Dead Cells are really interesting, honestly, but this guy is the least interesting. You dodge or parry his swipes, and then you dodge his roll. Oh no, now you gotta dodge this aura thing that comes out of him. I don't have much to say about this guy, because that's literally like all of his attacks, but I will say that he does have an interesting combo. And his design, it's pretty cool, honestly. I would say it's definitely not the best design, but it's in the upper tier, I'd say. Next on the list is Conjunctivius, who I'll be calling Con, I don't want to say Conjunctivius a lot, even though I'm not saying it a lot. I'm not a huge fan of the first bosses, as you can see, but I will say this is way better than Concierge, and this fight is much more difficult than Concierge. I would argue this is the hardest boss to get a no-hit in, just because sometimes the tentacles can feel kind of unpredictable, even though they're not at all. But then you gotta deal with that green bullets that are just shooting everywhere, and it's just annoying, and that's also a way to lose a no-hit. And as you can see, I love to use brutality in melee builds, so this boss fight's obviously harder for my builds when you can just use like a bow and just snipe it down. But its charge can sometimes surprise me, which is another reason I can find this boss kind of hard, because I'll be trying to climb up there to try and get some hits on it, and all of a sudden it pulls out a charge, and I'm right next to it, so I don't have time to parry, or I'm in like the climbing animation. But it's at least how I choose to play it. I know it'd be easier if I chose the bow build, but that's what I do. I play it, the way I play is when in the tentacle phase, when I stay on the ground, I'm always on the move until like the tentacles pop up, which, yeah, that's pretty obvious, so you're supposed to do. But even at the tentacles pop up, I like to stay on the move a little bit longer, just in case there's one hidden down there, which you can tell. But I like to stay down there until they all pop up, so I can at least try and get the most damage out, or in case I can just dodge over the one that slides across the screen. It's super annoying. But I mean, hey, just don't get overwhelmed is the easiest thing I can say about this boss fight, and it's a well-designed boss. I can't say much. It's a pretty fair, for a hard game like Dead Cells, this is a pretty solid first boss, so don't get overwhelmed, and you can get through this without even using a health flask, so nice. Now, I know I'm not going in depth with every boss, and that's pretty obvious, just because, I mean, it's the first Dead Cells video, and it's just seeing how this does. I mean, I don't want to go super in depth and everything. I can, if you guys really want to see that, even if you guys don't want to see it. I enjoy playing the game, so I figured, let's just skim over each boss for now. I'll say the good things and the bad things, and I'll rank them how I feel like. But next up, we have Timekeeper. The first time I fought this boss, I actually blew through in like 40 seconds, because I was running Assassin's Dagger and had no idea she would play as aggressively as she does, because as soon as you enter that boss fight, she's just instantly charging towards you and chucking the ninja stars and everything. But in this game, this is the one I would highly recommend bringing a shield to this, because I think this is, out of all bosses, this is probably the most important that you need a shield done, just because all the ninja stars are flying over the place. And this is the boss fight you want to get over with as quickly as possible, because when she hooks you, she can mess you up. Seriously, like I've been like, I don't know, I'll have a quarter of my health just vanish, because I get hooked and I mistime my parry, and the health just vanishes. I don't know what else to say. But other than that, I would say that obviously your parry action time needs to be higher here, because she has that attack, she chucks a ninja star, she has the where she charges through you, and I'm making this stuff up as I go, as I'm trying to think of what other attacks she does off the top of my head. But this is all those attacks, all that adds up to get her over with quick. Her design is pretty solid, I'd say. She kind of looks like a normal character, just with armor. She looks like a Dead Cells character with armor. That's what I have to say about it. So it's slightly better than average design. None of the designs in the game I really think are bad, but yeah, get this boss fight over with and bring a shield. The runner-up is the Hand of the King. Do you have any idea how many times he stopped me on 2BC? I get all the way to the Hand of the King only to get deleted in like the first 15 seconds of the boss fight. It's annoying. I know this boss fight is easier for some people, but I just have the problem with it because for some reason, I never got used to his parrying or to parrying that three slices and that 3 attack pattern. I don't know why I can't. I'm never been good at parrying it or dodging or jumping over it. I know it's just a me problem, but I can't stand it. His ground slams are pretty self-explanatory when he goes up in the air, jump on the little platforms and don't get ground slammed. But this is a boss fight where you really got to play to the strengths of your build. You got to look at every single stat, and you got to make sure everything is all the combos, all the synergies. You got to make sure they're all there because you want to do as much damage to this guy as quickly as possible, just like Timekeeper. This is not a boss fight you want to stay in for very long. I would say it's easily the hardest boss on this list, which, I mean, makes sense, obviously. His design's impeccable. It's like the Timekeeper. Its design's like a bigger Timekeeper, just better. But, I mean, I don't know what else to say. His attacks they all do a lot of damage. They're all really annoying. When you have to destroy the flags, I find that really annoying, because he'll just start chucking the little bombs everywhere or something. And then you got to destroy the flags while avoiding, well, half the floor is lava, basically, because all those bombs going off. It's annoying. I really don't like dealing with it. But, yeah, overall, avoid as many attacks as possible. Try to use less than 4 health flasks, like you'd come here with 4 health flasks anyway. But, yeah. And kind of say, when he charges you into the spikes before you dodge, that's just dumb. Finally, we have the Giant. By far and away, my favorite boss from Dead Cells. Everything about this fight's amazing, from the intro where he like talks about the given lore, to his death scene, which if you haven't played, I'm not going to say what it is. He's easily my favorite design in the game. I mean, it's a giant skeleton, it moves fluidly. His face just has so much features. Like, you can tell when he's sad, happy, or mad, just off not having an eyes, nose, or mouth to the skeleton. I mean, it doesn't have a mouth. Does it have a mouth? I don't know if whatever. But it's just amazing. What's bad about the boss fight? I'd say easily the best intro and the best death scene. And another thing about this boss fight is just I feel like it's the most fair boss fight, because when you get hit by it and like the fists are coming across the screen, the arena, you can readapt in the middle of the fight. If it's your first time fighting him, you just see a fist fly across the arena and you get hit by it. You know, okay, I just gotta not get hit by this thing when it's coming across the screen again, and I can dodge it. You don't know if you can parry it. You can. But, yeah, his ground slams where he just raises a fist with the ground and slams it down, those are easily dodged. This can be your first time ever fighting the Giant. You know, that thing looks dangerous. I'm not going to get slammed by it. His attacks are, he doesn't attack very fast, but he does attack very hard, which is pretty hard for survival builds. But I don't think his laser eyes are part of 0BC. I don't know if he has that ability, but I'll bring it up anyways. For a second, when he enters his laser fight, it feels like a whole new boss for a second, and it feels like you're just on your own trying to survive. The first time you do this, that laser eyes, you probably get hit, maybe even killed in the first section, just because I did, and it was surprising. I had no idea what was going on. But it feels like as soon as you escape, it feels like as soon as the laser eyes go away, you've been let out of a cage, and you can just go ham on his fists. And honestly, when you have to go ham on his fists enough, just attacking the eye is really satisfying. That sounds weird out of context. Don't take it out of context. But I absolutely love this boss fight. Even though I wouldn't say it's the hardest boss fight, I would say it's the hardest after Hand of the King. But overall, all of the bosses in this game are amazing, and hopefully you guys think so too, because Dead Cells is an amazing game. And anyways, that's the end of this video. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!